I was reviewing Raj's speech on growth. Now, Raj gave an entertaining speech, a humorous one. When I asked Raj about the intention of her speech, Raj did mention that it's all about listening to my story. They can have a chuckle, but that also reminds them that not to give up in case of failure. So that's the key message. There's so many things. I listened to it a couple of times, and there are so many things that Raj did well. Okay, let me tell you how the story began. Raj started with let me tell you, with an interesting story, and then weaved in her lessons in swimming and how she tactfully avoided learning to swim, and eventually came out victorious. With even with her dad and mom were surprised. Dad was an expert swimmer, but eventually Raj finished I think in 4.5 minutes she finished the story part, and then 1.5 minutes she focused on the conclusion. Okay, let's see what, so I've taken down some notes. Let's see what Raj did well. One, humor. I liked Raj's use of humor. Like she mentioned, the water was cold, very cold, and then she also mentioned terrifying cold. So that shows that adds various layers to your humor. So well done. There's so many humor points. Raj used lots of analogies, like my dad, like I turned up to the swimming pool like an Olympic athlete. I sank to the bottom of the pool like an unpaid bill. And then I liked about, and with these analogies, it's humorous at the same time, it's easier to grasp. I think it's in a digestible manner, so well done. Raj also used triads, the three, like how she did. She used triads like I told, cold, very cold, life-threatening cold. So that's one, life-threatening cold. She used a triad of humor. Well, triad three. The age is of instant noodles, instant gifts, and instant growth. So when we use triads, it adds, I'd say, there's some pizzazz to your presentation. So well done. Just keep exploring. That's a good thing. But sprinkle it. Don't use it often enough, so it becomes normal and boring. Raj also used two, I think she used one contrast. A contrast is in rhetorical device. A contrast is when you have opposites in a single sentence. Like she told, this. I didn't quit because it was hard. I quit because it was uncomfortable. Something like that. So it didn't quit and quit is juxtaposition together. That's contrast. So well done. I also liked Raj's message of not to give up on failure. And life is all about failure. In the end, we come up victorious. So well done, Raj. I liked Raj's energy. I could feel that humor coming through. So in humorous story, when we feel funny, we can then make our audience funny. So well done. I think that's it on the plus. And a few things which I want Raj to work on. Opening. I want you to work on how you open your speech. For example, Raj opened her speech on. I'm going to tell you an interesting story. So when I'm going to tell you an interesting story, it puts the power. The speaker starts losing power. What if somebody tells, okay, I have heard about the story, then it might not be interesting anymore. So it also sets up false expectations. The audience has the expectation that you succeed, yes, but at the same time, don't tell them that I'm going to tell an interesting story. Start narrating your interesting story and draw your audience in. That is one thing I want you to change. The same thing then Raj also brought in. I'll also tell you. Do you know? I will tell you a funny story. Don't tell people like humor has to. It has to attack with surprise, and then the audience laughs. If you are going to tell the audience that okay, now here's the funny part, and the audience would listen, and what happens if it doesn't? It's not funny. So then the audience, oh, you get groans. So do not tell people that I'm going to tell you a funny story. Don't tell people I'm going to tell you an interesting story. Start narrating the interesting story to put the audience in within the scene. I felt you had Raj. You had many characters. You had the coach, you had your mom, you had your dad, and yourself as well. A swimming pool is also a character. I felt the character were just narrated, dad, mom. Now just think about the audience. The audience are listening through the ears, but they're imagining with your narration. Could we pause for a moment and narrate the qualities of your mom? Like how tall was your mom? Or what was her voice like? Raj used dialogues, yes, but dialogues were like, my mom told this and I told this, my mom told this, I told this. No. What you could do, Raj, is can you move and become your mom in that character and speak to your child like how high are you? If I'm mom here, Raj is here, so then naturally the gaze of mom follows here, and then once Raj answers, she can then look and answer as if she's answering her mom. Same thing with dad and same thing with your coach. When you build up characters, you start getting into the character and coming out of the character as well. So feel the character in. Attempted dialogues, funny story, and I would also work on the opening bit. Never tell people what you're going to tell them. That's an old framework. I'm going to tell the audience and what you told them, and then again tell them. That's actually it's boring if you tell the message beforehand. You mentioned strategic excellence, selective participation. Simplify it down to a simple message that you reveal at the end. Do not give away your power by revealing it up front. So, sum up, I think that's it. And then finally, simplify your message. If certain words are difficult to pronounce, say for example, strategic excellence, what does that mean? Now here's your challenge, can you simplify it and just focus on selective participation instead of strategic excellence? Strategic excellence sounds business jargony. Can we simplify the language and move that language to the end? Otherwise, I enjoyed the speech, Raj. Those are the things. And again, try to focus and change one aspect at a time. So rewrite the speech again with the opening in mind, and finally look at the purpose of what you want the audience to feel. In the end, your speech, your humorous speech, has to have the message that the audience carries home. So refine your message a bit and then you present. Otherwise, really enjoyed your speech, Raj. I'm listening to draft 2, and I think you just need a couple of drafts and you are ready. I'll look forward for your next speech, Raj. Thank you. Bye for now.